To say that somebody does something by the numbers is usually a put-down. But our Bill Geist can remember a time when something done by the numbers was put up on your wall.
Picture of a boy with a picture on his mind, a picture he's going to paint himself. The young man isn't just daydreaming, he will turn out a painting, and in oils at that.
Paint by numbers, that fanciful fad of the 50s. It's still very much around.
Now we go with the sweeping strokes for the barn. Whoops.
And Paint by Numbers is now celebrating its 50th birthday with a major exhibit of this peculiarly American art form at the Smithsonian Institution in Washington, D.C. A gala grand opening attracted bigwigs from the top echelons of the Paint by Numbers community.
It is the experience of art, and it brings that experience to the individual who would normally not pick up a brush.
Like Paint by Numbers inventor Dan Robbins.
When people ask me how I came up with the idea for Paint by Numbers, I tell them I didn't, Leonardo da Vinci did.
Apparently, da Vinci assigned portions of some canvases to his students to paint by number. Say it isn't so.
Here, the capsules are filled with paint.
Paint by Numbers was invented in Detroit, home of the assembly line, where Robbins worked for a company that sold paint. Soon, millions of Americans were doing it by the numbers, including these 2,000 Tupperware dealers who created these colossal portraits of Ike and Mamie.
And the frames are lovely.
Right, the wavy.
Larry Bird is curator of the Smithsonian exhibit.
This is a happy homemaker at home.
Right, and the caption reads, "Dinner's all ready, honey. Just help yourself." You know, it's a play on the do-it-yourself.
TV dinners.
Right, and you can see that his place setting is a can opener with unopened cans, and she's madly painting away.
This would almost indicate that she's addicted to
well, some people described
painting.
it as an addiction.
Yeah.
As the masses painted, the art world fumed. Although in fairness to the Paint by Numbers school, spilled and splattered is what the art world was then praising.
And art critics were very critical indeed, were they not?
Yeah,
why were they so? Why?
Well, dismissive, really. The fact that paint by number is something that anybody can do.
Right.
So therefore, it must be completely valueless.
Mass culture.
Right. Mass culture at its most cookie cutter, dysfunctional, worthless. You can't have a brain to do this. Right. Now, to me, this is a simple hobby.
And critics never gave Paint by Numbers works credit for the unique qualities they did have.
I love how this right here says they can be washed with soap and water.
Right.
Which is something you don't see in the Louvre. And these I loved. I love the pink frames.
Right. These were selected because
this is pink.
The predominant color is pink, which drove cultural critics crazy.
This exhibit is the most comprehensive retrospective of the Paint by Number period.
Paris.
Yes, April in Paris.
Yeah.
Paris streetscapes are among the most popular paint by numbers subjects.
But there is an association between Paris and art and
the fine arts.
The fine arts, pardon me.
The fine arts, yes.
Thank you.
And there are brushes with greatness.
J. Edgar Hoover painted this little
J. Edgar
Swiss
Hoover
village. Yes.
Did? Wow.
Yes.
He painted by the rules.
He went by the rules, right.
And this is?
This is Ethel Merman, and it's the old mill. This is a Spanish mission scene completed by Nelson Rockefeller.
Nelson Rockefeller, right. Yes.
Indeed, many of the works are nearly priceless.
I found one of these in a thrift store.
Oh, you did?
Recently.
Really? What was the going price?
It was $1.90. They could go for 2 figures, 3 figures.
Two figures.
The most. Right.
Like $12.
Oh, like $99.
The high 2 figures. Yeah. And there are collectors.
Of course there are collectors. Right.
Collectors? Yes.
Well, this was a kind of catch-all area here. I had a lot of duplicates.
Aficionados like Trey Speegle, who has them papering his stairway. Luckily, he lives in a 4-story house because he has 500 works in his collection, grouped by theme and of varying levels of accomplishment.
one.
So there are good and bad paint-by-number artists.
Well, it's all subjective, I guess.
That's right. This is more impressionistic.
Right.
Right.
Looks like someone was trying to take this one away from them while they were painting it, maybe.
Just keep jerking.
Maybe
away.
a car trip. The nudes are in the bathroom here.
Nudes. I thought the paint-by-number was family entertainment.
Well, I guess it depends on whose family. The Mona Lisa.
Oh, much bigger than the original, I believe.
And then you
these
have
are the classics.
Yeah, Pinky and Blue Boy and Gainsborough.
I think you have two exact.
Well, they're not exact. If you actually
No.
look at her expression, that one of them is kind of snarky. And then we go into ballet.
Ballet. I love ballet. So this is the religious area here?
Yes.
Jesus, the Last Supper.
Right. I have the Last Supper and the next to the Last Supper, too. This is wildlife.
Flamingos.
Tigers, panthers.
Wow.
A lot
Asian.
of these. Yeah, these are geishas and
These are very
pagodas.
nice. I didn't even know these were paint-by-numbers.
Yeah, you wouldn't know, except that actually you can see the numbers. That's a
Can you
dead
actually,
giveaway.
really?
Yeah, see, you can see 89 or something there.
That's
a
89.
dead
right
giveaway.
there. Okay.
And then the dogs are down here.
The dogs are in the basement.
Yeah.
Where's it going to stop? You have almost every wall covered in here now.
Well, yeah, but there's the ceiling.
But what about our 10-year-old Da Vinci? Hey, he's been doing all right. Not bad when a little fellow like this can paint a picture that actually deserves a space on the living room wall.
And besides, fans say, how is paint-by-numbers any different than singers singing someone else's lyrics or actors reciting a playwright's lines?
People still like the experience of picking up a brush, dipping it in paint, and watching whatever they're doing come to life.
I just think they're pleasant to look at. You know, you really don't need to justify your own particular taste, because you as an individual have the right to the culture that you prefer, whether it's elite or popular or somewhere in between. And there's that pause between, is it art? And the answer.
Which is?
No, it's not.
Whatever it is, after 50 years, paint-by-numbers is still very much with us.
Sheesh.
Now available in a myriad of designs you would not believe.